Hello, and welcome to CTS 060. I would like to thank you for joining our class and hope that we'll have a great semester learning a bit about computer concepts and also Windows XP and Internet Explorer. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about Blackboard. Blackboard is a component that's used to supplement the in-class experience that you have. On Blackboard, you can find the materials that are discussed and handed out in class. It's also where you're going to submit your assignments and take your tests. So let's go ahead and get on into the class. First of all, once you're logged into Blackboard, all of your courses will appear. Next, you need to find this class, which is going to be 2010 SP CTS 060 4172 Essential Computer Use. It may be the only class you're enrolled in. So once you find that, go ahead and click to get in. Then the next page that's going to come up is your home page. Your home page is basically introduce you to whatever's going on in the class. If there's new assignments that have been put up, if there's things that are due, if I posted announcements, any of that is going to show up in your home page. The next area I'd like you to look at is your course information. Now, over on the left, you have a course information button. So go ahead and click on that. The first item in your course information is the attendance policy. Wake Tech does enforce an attendance policy, and particularly in a class like this where every day is important, it's important that you make your best effort to get to class every day. Because we meet twice a week for only 8 weeks, we only meet 16 times. What that means is you can miss 10% of that, which is just under 2 classes. So if you miss more than 2 classes, you can be dropped from the class. So please watch your attendance and use any absences for emergencies. The next section shows the CTS syllabus, and that's a link. You see the globe, it's a link. So if you click on that, it's going to give you the syllabus for the class. Now this is a general syllabus, but it's going to show you your books, any special instructions that you need, the goals, the objectives, the grading policies, the classroom policies, and a general subject guide for the class. The next section is a folder, and inside the folder it's going to show you all of the required books. Each book has a link, so you can go straight to learn more about the book. It's also got a picture. Make sure the book that you purchased looks like the book shown. Also, double check the ISBN numbers to make sure they match what's on the barcode on the back of the book. Now this information is important not only for this class, but any other class you take at Wake Tech. Make sure your book matches the book that's required for the class. Next is your key account. Now you wouldn't be in Blackboard if your key account wasn't working. However, if you run into any problems later on in the semester, this is where you can go to get more information on your key account. Student ID cards. It's important that you get a student ID card so that you can use them in any open labs, the ILC, and the library. You can get your ID card in the Student Services building, and again this is a link which will take you to where you can get more information about your student ID cards, what you need them for, where you get them, that sort of thing. The next section is the Wake Tech Open Computer Labs and the Individualized Learning Center. The Wake Tech Open Computer Labs, again, is a link, and if you click on the link, it will take you to the hours and locations of the open labs. The ILC also offers computers, but also tutoring in any other subject area. And once you click on that link, you'll get to this page, and for our class, you'd want to click on Computers, then Locations and Hours, and that'll give you all of the locations and hours for the ILC Computer Center. And finally, the last section here is the Wake Tech Disability Services. If you need any help with a disability, this is where you'll go to get more information, special consideration, that sort of thing. And so here's some information about disability services. The next section that I want you to look at is the lessons area. This is going to be the most important area for you in this class. Each week there'll be a folder showing up in your lessons area that's going to give you what you need to know for this week's work. For example, week 1, Thursday, March 4th, 2010, the classwork is going to show you what we're going to do in class. The homework for the next class is going to tell you what you need to do to be prepared for the next class. And then read for next class. This is the part of the book that you need to read to be ready for the next class. You're going to have the name of the book and the page numbers to read. Remember, we're using 3 books in this class, so make sure you pick the right book. Inside the folder, you're going to see first the weekly requirements, which is basically a repeat of what you just saw on that last screen, and then the information that pertains specifically to that week's work. Every week you're going to have a different folder, and every week's folder is going to include different items. When week 1 is over, then week 2 is going to be showing up here, and week 1 will be shown below week 2. So if you're looking for an old lesson that we learned, just scroll down and you'll find it. Because we haven't started class yet, the only folder that's available is week 1. Another area that you might want to be able to see is in the Tools section, My Grades. Whenever you're graded on something in class, it's going to show up in My Grades. When something is submitted, you're going to see an exclamation point, a green exclamation point. What that means is that the grade has been submitted, but it hasn't been actually graded yet. So don't worry if you see a green exclamation point. Another section is Contact Miss Wilson. Inevitably, there's going to be some time along the way when you're going to run into a question. I want you to feel free to get in touch with me. You can do this in one of 3 ways. You can email me at cmwilson@waketech.edu. You can call me at 919-866-5399. Or you can come visit my office. My office is currently 19A in the LE building. I am in my office on Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. So please feel free to come by and see me, call me, or email. Now, if you call after 5, it'll go to voicemail and I'll return it first thing the next day. If you need help after hours, emailing me is the best bet. The last section that's over in the guide is your companion sites. Each week you're going to be doing some work from your book, and so you're probably going to need to visit the companion sites. So the companion website for the Windows XP book, for example, looks like this. Alright, you've got a couple of sections. The More About, if there's something that piqued your interest and you want to know more about them, say from Project 1 you want to know more about Microsoft Mice, you can click on that. And then it'll give you searches for the mice. The section we're going to work with the most is Learn It Online. In the Learn It Online section, there's going to be activities for each project. For example, in Project 1, you can do flashcards, tests, quizzes, whatnot. You've also got practice tests you can take. Who Wants to Be a Computer Genius, which stems from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wheel of Terms, which is like Wheel of Fortune. Crossword puzzles, tips and tricks, news groups, word search. Lots of different options. Each time we do a project, you'll see that the companion for the Essential for Introductions computer books is basically the same idea. You've got your Learn It Online, same reinforcement kind of things, and the same with your Internet Explorer book. Learn It Online is generally where we're going to go, same kind of activities. So I hope you'll take advantage of these bonus activities that we have here to help to reinforce what we learn in class. Each week when we finish a chapter or a section, we're going to have a quiz on that section, and I highly recommend you practice some of these activities before you try to take the quiz. Well, that's a basic tour around Blackboard. I'll show you more in depth as we get through class, but I hope that gives you an idea of how it works, and if you are at all nervous about using it, feel a little more comfortable. And I look forward to a great semester with you.